to mention that we still have issues come into our 3D, you know, as well as us tackling internally, we still have issues come up that we go, oh my, I never anticipated that. Where did that come from?
Exactly. Where did that come from? Yes. I know.
You know, it doesn't stop life, does it? You know,
exactly. And we all have subconscious patterns. We all have things that we grew up with. Before we hit record, I was telling Jen that as a person who grew up in Greece, we have this very, very, I don't know, dominant belief in things like the evil eye or being jinxed. And I was telling her, I thought that I had let go of all that, but there have been times here and there where I felt that, oh my gosh, is this still happening to me? Like there have been times here and there. So we all deal with things.
Of course, and a lot of these things are very deep rooted, and you know, just the mere fact of talking about how many, I mean, what is it, Christina, 70,000, 80,000 thoughts that we have a day, Lucy?
Yes, that's right.
You know, and we're conscious of, you know, maybe a third of that, if less.
Exactly.
And the rest of it's, you know, unconscious programming, the thoughts that are running without us even knowing. We're only human. Even as coaches who choose to go on this path of self-empowerment, manifestation, we're still human, having a human experience, and we have to deal with our human brain, and sometimes it breaks
Exactly.
You know?
It does get easier, it does get better, and it does get what did I say earlier? I said it makes you happier as a person. So it gets smoother in a way. At least that's what I have found with myself. Doesn't mean though that I don't go through difficult feelings at times. Of course I do. So
I feel like going back to the self-concept, self-esteem, self-love, I feel that is being like, because of learning the detachment, which is a lesson that I really needed to learn, I'm overwhelmingly proud of myself. And maybe we can touch on here, because I think that sometimes it's still lost, the mere fact, Christina, of self-love being selfish instead of selfless.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. There are a lot of people, they feel like it's selfish to be like self-confident or love yourself. And it's not, we don't mean it from a selfish perspective, as in I'm going to love myself and pretty much everyone else, I don't know, go screw yourselves or whatever. So no, obviously we don't mean it like that. We mean it in the sense of self-acceptance, in the sense of being gentle and patient with yourself, also in the sense of improving yourself where you feel like there is room for improvement. So it's a combination of things. Self-care as well, that's another part of self-love. I don't know how you would define it, or if there's even a definition of self-love, like a strict definition of self-love. For me, acceptance is the number one. When we're talking about love and self-love, it's very, very, goes very hand in hand with acceptance. I'm accepting myself, or I'm accepting the person I love, you know. It's very important.
Well, and I found, especially when I was going through longing, you know, the missing stages, when I was still figuring out the law, and I was, you know, that longing, it's almost like a real longing feeling that you can't seem to quench at that point that I was at. I was taking in so much knowledge, but I still couldn't quench that feeling. And so things that helped me physically en route was bathing and then touching my own skin, you know, cradling myself, physically comforting myself.
Absolutely. You know? Kind of like inner child work, right? Like holding yourself and soothing yourself. Absolutely.
That's right. And now I've got to that point. I feel like it's more mental. Now I can just say, I've got you, baby girl, you know. I've got you. You know, I've always got you, you know. And that's the other thing, because it for some reason, even looking in the mirror, you know, I look in the mirror and sometimes I cry and I look at my eyes and I think, oh, my baby's crying, almost like a child,
Mm-hmm.
like my baby's crying. That's how much love I have for myself now. Whereas I could never even look in the mirror before, Christina. It
Mm-hmm.
was, I'd be like, oh, this feels so wrong to even say, I like you, Jen, you
Uh-huh.
know.
Wow. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
and a lot
that's
of people feel this way, that this is selfish or this is somehow, I don't know, arrogant or
yeah,
conceited, and it's not. It's not.
no, no.
And
And
it really helps with manifesting. It really helps with regulating your nervous system that we touched on earlier. It really helps with everything to start accepting yourself and being there for yourself, even in your tough moments. Even if you're having, I don't know, an off day where you're being bombarded with opposing thoughts, it's okay. It's okay.
yes, yes.
At
And
the end of
and
the day, it's okay.
but going back to also with regards to SP, because I think for
Mhm.
both of us, really predominantly, it's SP. Obviously, me and you could talk, and we could use,
Most of my clients consult with me for SP. Yeah, usually
yeah.
most of my coaching is for SP. Not all of it, but I would say 90% of it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course we can make the same things applicable to career and money and all the
For
rest of it.
sure. There's a
Yeah,
little, yes, definitely yes, because the way you manifest one thing is how you manifest everything. When it comes to SPs or relationships in general, it's that our fears and our insecurities tend to come to the surface. And so we feel more vulnerable than we might feel about money or career success. We might still have blocks there when it comes to that,
yeah,
but relationships really take or bring that vulnerability out of us.
mm, mm,
And I think this is where most people find it difficult when it comes to an SP or romantic relationships in general.
yeah. But falling back on the with this with regards to the self concept, and then
Yes.
I feel like, again, and you'll agree. I know that you're going to agree with this. Even mentioning the potentiality of moving away from SP, picking
Mm.
someone that's more well suited, until you're really ready. But you've got to a place where you understand allowance, detachment, all these big players, that you can't hear it. It's way too triggering to even hear. You know, potentially you have the choice. And again, you can manifest whoever you desire. But the thing is, with self concept and self love, once you get on this journey of growth, it opens up more possibilities to say, do I want, where is an alignment for me to actually invest my energy, Christina? And
Yeah.
that takes time, doesn't it?
So yes, that is, I think what you're talking about is moving, because most people come into these teachings through some painful experience, usually a
Yeah.
breakup or someone rejecting them or something else very unpleasant happening in their lives that they want to rectify. So most
Mm.
people start in these teachings with, what do I need to do to get what I want?
Yeah.
Then eventually if they persevere in these teachings and they keep implementing them, they come to the realization that it's not so much about what do I do to get where I want to be, but it's more, who can I be? Who do I want to be? Who do I want to become to have what I
Mm.
want? So
And
I
we
think it comes to that. And so that is when self-concept comes in and you start cultivating your self-concept and solidifying your self-concept. And you start coming to that place that you just mentioned, where you start loving yourself more and feeling like, okay, where do I want to be?
Yeah.
Regardless of my SP. I love my
Mm.
SP. I want my SP, but regardless of my SP, where do I want to be for
Mm.
me in my
Mm.
romantic life, in
Mm.
my relationships, or whatever it might be?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
that is when it becomes much easier to detach from needing the SP. And again,
Yes.
that doesn't mean to say that you will not have your SP, you cannot have your SP, or anything like that. You can
The
absolutely have your
irony
SP.
is, the irony is, by learning that and
Yeah,
getting to that place, that the SP is more likely to come in from that
a
space.
hundred
That's
percent,
the
a hundred
irony.
percent, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're not chasing, you're not pushing. Your
yes.
energy is very much, and we didn't discuss that we were going to talk about this, and this will
It's
probably be
okay.
for a
We
future
said we
thing.
would let the conversation flow. So yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
But again, that's sitting in our feminine nature to allow,
Yeah.
that is very much a feminine trait. I believe that my masculine, my feminine, this is another subject, but to learn these things, to learn about thyself is very important. It was for me.
Sure.
Because I realised that I was not sitting in my femininity. I was very much in chasing mode, in pushing mode.
Yeah.
And then when I started to realise that I haven't got to do that, that's not where I personally should be sitting. And once I got the allowance side of it and the detachment, of course, that's when everything has started changing. It's not a fight. It's not a fight anymore. I think that's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah,
You stop the
exactly.
fight.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You allow it. The other thing with I like that you call this a fight because that's what it really is. When you are in your resistance and you are in that place where you're pushing and chasing and trying to manipulate the 3D and strategize in the 3D to get results,
Yeah.
really, number one, you're in a place of lack.
Yeah.
But also usually you're harboring resentment. You are harboring feelings of I'm being rejected, I'm being ignored. And so this is what you are, since we're talking about SP, this is what you are transmitting with your thoughts and your energy to the other person. You are transmitting the thoughts of you're rejecting me or you don't want me or I'm criticizing you, you're letting me down and you're not making me happy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they feel subconsciously they feel that criticism.
Yeah.
Whereas when you detach and you stop needing it so much and you focus your own energy on yourself and like you said, you get to know yourself, then that's when it becomes more of you're kind of allowing things to happen. And so you're in a more welcoming energy actually, and a
Yeah.
much more open energy for your SP to come in.
Yeah. And
Ironically, as you said, yeah.
another cycle that I don't know whether you went through this, but this toxic positivity, I was stuck in that for a
Yeah.
little while.
No.
And that was a
Yeah.
stage that,
Yeah.
because it's the thing is, when we learn about the law, it's very empowering, and especially initially, because you think, oh my god, I can take control of my life, I can do something
Yes.
about this. But there's so many things that not that the law's hard, because it really isn't hard, it's very simple, but to, like you said, to relearn all these things that we've
Yes.
been taught from birth, that's the more sort of difficult thing for our
For
brain
sure.
to initially grasp. But toxic positivity for me, because it was almost like, that this 3D experience is happening, this circumstances is
Yeah.
happening. No, 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 it's not happening. It
Yeah.
was
Oh,
almost like,
yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm asked that a lot. People telling me or asking me, how do I ignore my 3D when it's showing me things I don't like? And I always try to explain that it's not ignoring in the sense of lying to yourself that it's not happening, trying to fool yourself, or any of these things. It's more about learning to stay indifferent to it because you can change it. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah, for sure.
before the indifference, Christina, for me, and I'm
Mhm.
sure for you, is to feel the feelings and not push them away.
You can, it's okay. It's okay to feel the feelings. It's
Yeah,
okay to
I
feel the
mean,
feelings. I will say here, and it kind of ties in a little bit to what we were saying earlier, that as you become more advanced, it becomes easier to get into the state without tools. At times, it also becomes easier to, yes, some feelings come up, but then with your thoughts and with just stepping into the state, they just go away. So
well,
there are times when
well,
you don't even
I'm,
need to feel them as such, but
I'm a
if
little
you
bit
do,
different there, though,
okay.
Christina, because I'm a feeling girl, and there's a feeling for that when it comes to me, and so I do. I do have to I mean, I do a lot of crying. It's my way of purging from my body. So for me, again, maybe this is just a bit of a difference between
I
person
won't
to
say I
person.
cry a lot. I do cry if I need to cry, but no, I wouldn't say I cry a lot. So yeah,
I
I guess we're
do.
different there.
It's like a cry a day for me, you know. This is where I'm at. The cry, it's like have you heard that saying that an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Or is
Yes,
that
yes,
right?
yes.
So it's
A
a
cry a
cry a
day. There
day.
you go. There
Keep,
you go.
keeps Jen's nervous system okay. But again, this is, and that's the thing we do, you
Yeah,
know, as coaches like you, I need to take on that, what you're saying, because we only learn this stuff, and we're only coaches from our own
for
experiences, aren't
sure.
we?
Exactly,
You know,
exactly,
and
exactly.
and we were mentioning this just briefly, but we are, me and Christina, obviously we're different people, but
Hmm.
we're very much giving the same message, but we've just gone through different experiences, so we
For
can't be
sure, for
ideal,
sure.
you know, identical.
Yeah,
Mm.
but what you're mentioning is very important here because with toxic positivity, and I know a lot of people, and I can tell. I've seen it in some of my clients, not most of my clients, but in some of my clients, and I've also seen it. I will say, especially men, especially guys. You
Oh,
are you
and
are
we're
very
doing
guilty
some
of
men bashing.
you are very guilty of doing that, much more than women. Just
Oh
stuffing
yeah,
down the feelings. No, no,
yes,
no. All is
yes.
well. All is well. It's fine. I'm good. Whew.
I know,
Keep
I
going.
know. How many rucksacks can I put on my back, type of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
And
see
then
that in men much more than women.
all of a sudden, I think it's sort of like then meltdown all of a sudden, really,
Yeah,
because there's
yeah.
only so many bags that you can take on your back, isn't it,
Exactly,
really?
exactly,
So
exactly.
I agree. I agree. And you know that's another fair point. For we've talked about this, how with you were saying predominantly with your clients, it's a lot more female based, and
It's more, I get more women. I think more women are watching this channel than men. It's about 70 to 30%. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
and
same with my, it gets reflected to, yeah, to my coaching clients as well. I get more women coaching clients than men. But yeah.
yeah, and as it stands with me, obviously, you know, I'm in the infancy, and I can only be where I am, and that's good
Mm-hmm.
enough for me, type of thing. But where I am at the moment, it's a lot more men. But
Mm-hmm.
but then, in saying that though, over the last few days, I have realised, and I think I've been pushing this away because I've been so like, where are my girls? Like, I want my girls. And I think I've been fighting that energy and I've been resisting it. And really, I've got so many lovely brothers. I call people brothers and sisters. I've got that many lovely brothers that
Yeah.
I'll get on with. I think, well, that probably makes sense that because I can converse very nicely with men, and there's no sort of, you know, I haven't got any resistance or
Yeah.
any massive stories around men. So I am actually thinking to myself, maybe this is another part of where I can do my work, where I can accept that it hasn't necessarily got to be women for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can also help men, you know, if
Yeah.
that's part of my story.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm open to anybody, obviously.
yeah,
And I think you are too. But to
yeah.
to kind of bring it back a little bit to what we were talking about, toxic positivity, I just wanted to make a point before I forget, because I know I'm going to forget.
No,
Um,
carry on.
yeah, um, people need to have this takeaway from this video. Well, hopefully they'll have many takeaways, but one of them, which is important, is that it's okay to feel your feelings. And if you do feel your feelings, it doesn't mean you're messing up your manifestation. Because there's that assumption too, there's that fear too in the community. I don't know if you've encountered that.
Yeah, yeah.
If
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel my feelings, I'm messing it up. I'm
yeah.
destroying it. Yeah.
Oh, and this is the thing, that was another big part for me, Christina, because I'm so feeling orientated.
Yeah.
Where obviously I still need to do. It seems I still must need to do a lot of purging. That I was rejecting myself in
Yeah.
that way, which not doing any good for my energy, because of course I was having this internal battle that didn't need to be there. Really,
Exactly.
what I just needed to
Exactly.
do was purge and allow those feelings to pass
Yeah.
through me,
Yeah.
and then on to the next type thing.
For
Yeah.
sure. And the
Mm,
good thing about feeling your feelings, whatever these might be, I often tell my clients, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to punch a pillow, punch a pillow. If you need to just
mm,
yell off the top of your lungs, do that. Whatever. If you just want to go out for a run, do that. Like whatever you feel like doing. You will probably notice that all these are somatic methods. They are methods where you are allowing your body to process your feelings as opposed to reverting to your mind and letting your
mm,
mind do all the work. And usually
yeah.
when you do that, you encounter massive resistance.
Mm,
It's much
mm.
easier to let your body process them, and then your mind also calms down with that.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And at this point, I will say, hug a tree, because I love hugging trees. I had to get that in there. I think people find it quite comical when I talk about hugging trees, but it's so therapeutic to me, you know?
I've never, have I done it? I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't know
Well,
if I've done,
this is,
I'm sure I've
yeah.
done it. I'm sure I've done it as a child, but have I done it as an adult or as a coach? I don't
Mm.
know. I don't remember doing
Well,
it.
well,
Maybe you'll inspire me and I'll go out and do it after this call. Yeah.
and maybe we can add that onto the next video, right? You know, how did
Yeah.
you get on, Christina, with your tree hugging?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
And
Right.
laughter, part of the to if we're gonna, because we've been talking for quite a while, but maybe before we wrap things up, is to just say that sometimes we take our journey so seriously, Christina.
Yes.
You
Thank you for
know,
saying that.
yeah.
I was talking about that exact thing I think it was last week or the week before in my live in my members channel.
Hmm.
That a massive improvement in your mood, in your state, can come just from taking life a little less seriously and your manifestations a little less seriously. That
Yeah.
alone can be a huge load off your shoulders.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you don't realise how much you pressure yourself. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I've always been very much, I've loved comedy. I love comedy. I've loved to have a laugh. At certain points on my journey, I stopped laughing, Christina,
Uh-huh.
because
Oh.
yeah, I was taking it so seriously. I had to learn this skill and I had to do it. And really, again, because of that energy, you're doing the opposite of what you're
Yeah.
actually going for. So I've now, even though things can be serious, I mean, I put a post out, was it yesterday or today? Maybe today, talking about dysregulation with lack of sleep. And it's not
Oh.
really funny. It's not a funny thing to talk about. But however, just by injecting that little bit of, oh, here I go again, my hair's up here
Yeah.
now, just
Yeah.
injecting that bit of lightness in, it
Yeah.
really does just do wonders for the nervous system again to calm.
For sure, for sure.
Mm,
But you're absolutely right about not. This is where that whole concept of have fun with your manifesting comes in. That we
mm,
say from time to time. I've heard other coaches, and I completely agree. I've said it too in my videos. When you stop treating your manifestations as the end all be all, and I cannot be happy if I don't have that, which is where
mm,
detachment comes in as
of
well. See,
course.
it all ties together. It's all
It
related.
does. Yeah.
Um, it really liberates you. That's the word.
Hmm.
It's just
Yeah.
and you come to your manifestation from such a lighter point of view, such a happier point of view. And the other thing
Mm,
I wanted to say here to what you mentioned is that we should not forget who we are. I always say at our core, we are I am. We are unconditioned consciousness.
mm,
However, we have conditioned ourselves for whatever reason we chose to be that way into becoming human beings for however long we have on this earth and all that. Why did we do that? We did that to live the human experience, to live as humans, and
mm,
to understand and to learn and to enjoy how it is to
mm,
be a human.
mm,
So we
mm.
should try and treat this life that we have here on this planet right now as more of our playground in a way, right?
Yes.
So we're
Yeah.
here to enjoy the experience. That also goes to what you just said, that at some point in your journey you have stopped laughing.
Mm,
Well, we're
mm,
here to enjoy the 3D as well.
mm,
We're not here to
mm,
shun the 3D and
mm,
try to be,
mm,
all rigid and all anything like that.
mm,
It's
mm,
more,
mm.
it's more, let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy our experience. We're here to live the human experience. That's it. That's why we're here. So,
and I think that's an amazing place to wrap
to
up.
wrap
Do
it up.
you? Do you? Because I think that is the, you know, a way to finish it is, we as coaches, especially as coaches, you know, I want to see my clients smile. You know, I live for those moments of them saying, Jen, a revelation, Jen. Oh, and you know, those are the moments that we really relish, don't we, Christina?
Smile, absolutely. Smile and be well and feel well. Even regardless of their manifestation, which, by the way, they start feeling well and they start seeing the situation differently, it will come as well. But regardless of the manifestation, I think we care the most about their well-being. We want to see people happy, or at the very least happier than how they were when they came to us.
Yes.
I think that's the motivation. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. So let's inject some more love and more happiness into this planet, my darling. We've got a big mission.
And maybe we should do that again. We should probably do that periodically.
Yes.
We are. I was telling Jen that we'll probably put that out in 2 parts. One part will be in her channel. The other part will be in my channel. We'll see how we do it. But yeah, maybe we'll do that again in the future and talk about different topics or whatever.
Of course. I mean, you know, when we were talking, we were, you know, lots of different things to do with manifestation was swimming around in my brain. But we've only got so much time, and we can, you know, we can go into depth at a later video, couldn't we?
For sure. Yeah.
But it was an amazing introduction.
Yes. So with that, let's say our goodbyes. Thank you to everyone who have watched this. Has watched this, I guess. And we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you found it beneficial. And we love you all. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. See you in the next one.
Bye, people. Hey, oh.